Tianyue smiled and said, I'm not sure what you need, young friend, but our rain sect has some influence in Yi City. We should be able to offer you a sufficient reward. The ferocity of the spatial power within the teleportation array was something even Tianyue vaguely feared. As an alchemist, Xiao cultivated his soul power and naturally understood better than most just how terrifying spatial power could be. So, no matter what Xiao asked for, Tianyue would do his best to accommodate him. I don't ask for much, Xiao replied with a smile. Sect Master Yu, take a look at these medicinal herbs. If you have them in your sect, I will take one. If not, I'm willing to trade them for equivalent items, if you agree. Xiao walked over and, with a brush of his hand, wrote down 5 medicinal herbs on a piece of paper in the hall. Heart-suppressing herb, blood lotus leaf, withered marrow essence, 3rd rank immortal grade soul core, 10,000-year profound ice. These 5 herbs were quickly written on the paper. Tisk, TSK. Even with my life's experience, I've never heard of some of these. Tianyue picked up the paper and couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Each of these 5 herbs was valuable, and Tianyue had only encountered 2 of them in his entire life. I hope Sect Master you will assist me, Xiao said. However, Xiao was quite clever. He intentionally listed 2 extra herbs to confuse their judgment. Otherwise, if he only listed 3, some sharp-eyed individuals might spot the connection between them, which could lead to trouble. Young friend, aren't you asking for too much? Tianyue glanced over the list of 5 herbs and said, Sect Master Yu, I believe you know the dangers of spatial power, but I can assure you that it will not interfere with your sect's repair of the teleportation array. Xiao smiled. Clearly, he had to give Tianyue some reassurance, or the old fox wouldn't help him with full commitment. Hee Xiao with your words, I'm at ease, Tianyue replied with a smile. Bring it to me. Search all the shops in Yi City. If you find any of these herbs, buy them at any cost. Also, tell Miss and Second Miss to check our Rain Sect's warehouse and see if we have any of these herbs. If we have them, take them directly, Tianyue ordered. Yes. The guard took the paper and left to carry out the orders. But the guard was still somewhat puzzled. The Rain Sect's warehouse held many treasures, yet Xiao was worthy of the sect master opening it? This indicated that Xiao had offered something shocking in return. Otherwise, Tianyue, being the crafty old fox he was, wouldn't be so generous. On the other side, in the Withered Leaf Cottage. Thank you, Cottage Master, for saving my life. Several figures slowly appeared in the hall. 3rd Elder, after all these years of hard work, it's now the final moment. It's time for you to serve Withered Leaf Cottage. Yiku spoke slowly from the head of the table. The 3rd Elder had been secretly saved by people from Withered Leaf Cottage. They had caused a commotion at the Rain Sect's estate to draw attention, and in the chaos, they rescued him. The person currently imprisoned in the Rain Sect's dungeon was just a decoy. But in the hall, besides the 3rd Elder and Yiku, there was also a mysterious figure. The person was dressed entirely in black, their body covered from head to toe. Yet the eerie, ghostly aura they gave off was even stronger than the 3rd Elder's. What's your plan? After a while, the figure in black slowly spoke. This person, just their words sent a chill down my spine. Who is this? The 3rd Elder couldn't help but mutter inwardly. Lord, don't worry. Once the Rain Sect enters the teleportation array to repair the formation, we'll strike and take them all out, Yiku replied with a smile, filled with slyness. But Cottage Master, the teleportation array is under their control. How will we get in? The 3rd Elder asked, puzzled. The teleportation array was originally under our Withered Leaf Cottage's management for many years. No matter how they defend, a little trickery on our part and we can enter freely. Yiku smiled faintly, his expression full of cunning. I only need their souls. The rest doesn't concern me, the figure in black said coldly, then disappeared without a trace. Cottage Master, who was that just now? The 3rd Elder, watching the figure vanish, couldn't help but ask. Remember, don't ask what you shouldn't, Yiku replied. Understood. I'll take my leave now. The 3rd Elder nodded silently and then withdrew. Rain Sect, huh? You really think that a foreign sect like yours can rival our local forces? Wait and see once that force helps you. The day you repair the teleportation array will be the day your rain sect meets its end. A cold, eerie voice echoed through the hall. At the rain sect's estate, there are quite a few treasures in the sect's warehouse. Yue spoke softly. It should be Xiao Yan's soul power. Xun'er, sensitive by nature, faintly sensed something. As for these 5 medicinal ingredients, our rain sect only has the soul core of a 3rd-rank immortal grade soul beast. Even this thing nearly cost my father's life back then. If not for my father's good fortune, perhaps, Yue said, still feeling a lingering fear. All right, let's take it and head to the hall. Father and Xiao Yan should still be waiting for us. After speaking, the 2 women, carrying a delicate silver box, headed towards the hall. Sect Master, we've searched everywhere inside and outside Yi City, but there's no trace of these 5 medicinal ingredients. After a short while, a guard hurriedly returned. Nothing? Xiao Yan slowly shook his head, clearly underestimating the rarity of these ingredients. Hee, don't worry, young friend. Our rain sect warehouse just happens to have one of the ingredients. Seeing the faint disappointment on Xiao Yan's face, Yu Tianyue quickly spoke up. Oh, what is it? Xiao Yan asked, his disappointment immediately dissipating. It's the soul core of a 3rd-rank immortal grade soul beast. Just as Xiao Yan inquired, 2 graceful figures walked in with elegant steps, like blooming lotuses. What? The soul core of a 3rd-rank immortal grade soul beast? Xiao Yan was truly shocked, a strange tremor running through his body. Soul beasts are magical beasts, and their soul cores are equivalent to magic cores. However, 3rd-rank immortal grade alchemists are extremely rare. On the one hand, training soul power in the immortal realm is incredibly difficult, and on the other hand, crafting immortal grade pills requires magic cores, which makes such pills scarce and hard to come by. After all, magical beasts at the level of Do Xian possess far greater combat power than human cultivators of the same rank. And the soul core of a 3rd-rank immortal grade soul beast is a terrifying existence comparable to a 3-star Do Xian human cultivator. Hee, young friend, this is the soul core of a 3rd-rank immortal grade soul beast, the phantom spirit cat. Do you find it acceptable? Yu Tianyue smiled as he saw Xiao Yan's shocked expression. It is well known that when alchemists reach the immortal grade, the soul cores they need are no longer classified by element. Even if the pill recipe calls for a water-type soul core, but one obtains a fire-type soul core, it can still be used to refine the pill. This is because immortal-grade alchemists can easily blend the attributes of both, which is a unique skill of immortal-grade alchemists. Xun'er, give the item directly to Xiao Yan. Yu Tianyue chuckled. Xun'er nodded slightly and then walked slowly to Xiao Yan's side. Xiao Yan, this is the soul core of a 3rd-rank immortal-grade soul beast. From now on, it belongs to you. Xun'er's sweet voice echoed through the hall. Now that Xiao Yan's soul power had reached the immortal realm, even the proud Xun'er addressed him as my lord, and she was more than willing to do so. Thank you. Xiao Yan wasn't one to hesitate. He took the silver box without delay. Buzz buzz. As soon as he took the silver box, his sharp soul power immediately probed it, as he couldn't just take someone's word for it. It was best to check it personally. This guy, quite meticulous. Yu Tianyue, an old fox, easily noticed Xiao Yan's actions but didn't comment, since real gold is not afraid of being tested by fire. Such intense fluctuations, it really is the soul core of a 3rd-rank immortal-grade soul beast. Not long after, Xiao Yan's face broke into a brilliant smile. Hee, since the reward is now in hand, Xiao Yan, you can rest for the day. Tomorrow at noon, we'll enter the spatial formation and begin the repair. Yu Tianyue said. Xiao Yan nodded lightly, and then, under the guard's guidance, he slowly went to rest. Xiao Yan knew that the reason Yu Tianyue gave him the reward up front was to ensure that he would put in the effort. Now that the reward was in hand, Xiao Yan would naturally give his full effort to help them. You too, also go and rest. Once we enter the spatial transmission formation, remember to keep an eye on the people from the Withered Leaf Cottage. They seem a bit off. Yu Tianyue instructed. The 2 women nodded lightly. The day passed in the blink of an eye, and when the blazing sun was high in the sky the next day, signaling noon's arrival. Is everyone here? In the quiet bamboo forest at the back of the rain sect, Xun'er stood at the forefront, asking. Aside from Xiao and the rain sect master, there were many other powerful figures present. As soon as Xun'er finished speaking, a figure in white robes slowly appeared in front of everyone, scanning them with a calm gaze. I am Yumu, the Grand Elder of the Rain Sect. This time, the sect master and I will lead everyone into the spatial formation. Remember, once we enter, you must follow us. The group nodded gently upon hearing the instructions, fully aware of the perilous nature of this mission. Furthermore, Withered Leaf Cottage loomed in the shadows, watching like a predator. Thus, only the Grand Elder and the sect master, along with a few powerful experts, were dispatched, leaving the remaining forces to guard against Withered Leaf Cottage. Grand Elder, let's proceed, Xun'er commanded, wasting no time as everyone assembled. Understood. Grand Elder Yumu nodded slightly. Both he and Xun'er maintained emotionless expressions, their hands beginning to channel a formidable energy that slowly coalesced before the group. This sect master of the Rain sect holds the top rank in Yi City, and the Grand Elder's strength is only slightly beneath his, Xiao noted inwardly. Rip? In the blink of an eye, as Xiao pondered, a silver spatial gate solidified before the group. Let's go, Xun'er said softly, his lips barely moving. With a wave of his hand, he stepped into the spatial gate, vanishing in an instant. The rest of the group, including Xiao, followed closely behind. Boom, boom, boom. A series of terrifying and spine-chilling auras slowly emerged. Accompanied by these fearsome spatial fluctuations, the 10 people who had previously been standing outside the bamboo grove now found themselves within a spatial array. A profound silver energy permeated the surroundings, exerting immense pressure on them. Only after the final person entered the array did a faint smile flicker across Xun'er's otherwise indifferent face. Repairing the spatial array will likely take several days. Be vigilant during this time. I can't shake the feeling that something is off, Xun'er said, sweeping a sharp gaze over the group from his elevated position. Understood, the others replied solemnly, knowing the gravity of the situation. As they stood within the array, waves of destructive spatial energy emerged around them. Even a faintly scorching aura wafted through the space, intensifying the oppressive atmosphere. Within Xiaoyan's body, the sacred flame and his battle core rotated continuously, emitting threads of powerful energy to dissipate the spatial forces attempting to assault him. This so-called spatial array was, in fact, a fissure created by a powerhouse of 5-star Docian or higher. By harnessing spatial energy, they had torn open a pathway enabling seamless travel between cities, a remarkably convenient method. However, the array had its drawbacks. Periodic maintenance by a 5-star Docian or higher was essential. If left untended, the chaotic spatial energy could turn the array into a death trap rather than a transportation tool. So this is the unstable spatial energy, Xiao murmured, grasping a wisp of faint silver light from the void. The light contained an unimaginably terrifying power, along with traces of searing heat. And this is just the outer layer of the spatial energy. Our task is to reach the core of the array and repair the damaged sections, Yumu said, his eyes fixed on a particularly dazzling point of silver light in the void. The group nodded in understanding. They were keenly aware that this spatial energy could easily obliterate a 5-star Docian. Without the advantage of spiritual power being its natural counter, none of them would dare to approach, no matter how bold. Stay close and don't get separated. The spatial energy here is highly unstable and constantly shifting. If you're caught in it, the consequences are unimaginable, Xun'er cautioned. Let's begin. Without further delay, Xun'er's figure surged toward the brilliant silver light. That point marked the core of the spatial array, where the concentration of spatial energy was at its peak. The spatial transmission array spanned an area as vast as the fractured spaces Xiao had seen in the continent of Doqi, resembling the realms of the Gu clan or the Soul clan. This vastness became evident as the group flew for nearly a quarter of an hour, yet the silver light of the core still seemed just as distant. Initially, Xiao assumed that the silver light marked the core of the array. Yet after flying for such a prolonged period with little progress, he gained a new appreciation for the scale of this spatial transmission array. The extended flight left the group feeling increasingly oppressed by the immense force surrounding them. Xiao, Yu Tianyue called out, seemingly noticing the intensifying spatial energy pressing against them. Among the 10, only Yu Tianyue and the Grand Elder had reached the 3-star Do Xian level. I know. Xiao Yan's brows furrowed as he spoke, and then brilliant soul power began to surge from him, continuously flowing out and enveloping everyone's bodies. Whoosh whoosh. Finally, much better. Thank you, Lord Xiao Yan. After Xiao Yan released his soul power, the others who had been feeling discomfort immediately expressed their gratitude to him. Everyone, be careful. The spatial power here seems to be undergoing some kind of special mutation. Just after Xiao Yan released his soul power, he immediately sensed a dangerous aura emanating from the silver light sphere not far away. This guy really has some skill. The previously indifferent Elder Yumu, who had been displeased about the sect master offering a third-rank immortal great soul core as a reward, was now silent after witnessing Xiao Yan's brilliant soul power. Everyone nodded and continued forward. After another quarter of an hour, all the others had protective soul power surrounding them, courtesy of Xiao Yan, while Elder Yu Tianyue and the Great Elder had no such defense. A 3-star Do Xian powerhouse really lived up to their reputation. We're almost there. This feeling lasted only a moment, and soon, the group arrived at the silver light source. In the center of this silver light sphere is the core of the spatial array. I will enter and repair it. The Great Elder, Xiao Yan, and the rest will guard the outside and prevent the spatial power from getting close. We cannot let the spatial power touch the silver light sphere, or all our efforts will be in vain, Yu Tianyue said in a deep voice. Repairing the spatial teleportation array was not only important for the interests of the Rain sect, but also crucial for allowing some of their talented disciples to participate in the Eastern Continent competition. Naturally, Yu Tianyue was very serious about it. Rest assured, Sect Master Yu. Since I promised, I, Xiao Yan, will certainly not hold back, Xiao Yan replied. Good, then I'll begin. Without further hesitation, Yu Tianyue's figure flashed, and he entered the silver light sphere to start the repairs. As soon as Yu Tianyue entered, the silver space trembled violently. A terrifying spatial power began to slowly radiate from it, making everyone uneasy. Zzz. Massive silver strands of spatial power, each the size of 100 meters, turned into thunder-like strikes and shot toward the remaining 9 people. Their speed and power were so overwhelming that even an average mid-2-star Do Xian could be gravely injured in an instant. How audacious! Elder Yumu's aura suddenly soared, and with a loud roar, a brilliant silver Do Chi wrapped around him. TSK. Thunder attribute Do Chi from mid-3-star Do Xian. This great elder's strength is indeed formidable, Xiao Yan muttered as he watched Elder Yumu effortlessly neutralize the spatial power. Among all the elements, the thunder attribute was undoubtedly one of the most destructive. Before Xiao Yan could finish speaking, his brilliant soul power sensed a foreboding presence. He quickly looked up at the sky above. There, a dazzling white light sphere appeared. As soon as it emerged, everyone felt an overwhelming sense of pressure, as if something powerful was hidden within. What is that? Some figures couldn't help but ask, though they were elite members of the Rain sect and did not panic easily. This is... However, the moment Elder Yumu's eyes fell upon the blinding white light sphere, his pupils constricted in shock. Xiao Yan, quickly use your soul power to break it. Elder Yumu suddenly said anxiously. Soul power, break for me. Realizing what was happening, Xiao Yan wasted no time and unleashed his dazzling soul attack. Boom! As Xiao Yan acted, the blinding white light sphere slowly began to dissolve, revealing a massive entity before everyone's eyes. Roar! A deafening roar erupted from the broken light sphere. What appeared was a massive silver dragon, its body surrounded by a radiant silver glow, stretching over 1,000 feet. Its silver scales protected its form, and through them, one could sense an incredibly terrifying power, the power of space. The moment the silver dragon appeared, it caused everyone present to feel an overwhelming sense of heaviness. What? Is this creature still asleep? As everyone stared in shock, Xiao slowly said. His vast soul power revealed that the dragon's eyes were still closed. Although its aura was fierce, it was likely to be dormant, which meant it might not be a problem. For now, the crowd was thrown into disarray by the deafening roar of the dragon, so close that their minds were in turmoil. Had it not been for Xiao soul power protecting them, just this roar alone could have scattered their souls. This guy, it seems like he's not targeting us? Some figures in the crowd couldn't help but speak up. Rumble, the massive silver dragon, just awakened, let out a roar but showed no intention of attacking Xiao and his group. This creature, it's formed from the chaotic force of space. It seems the spatial array hasn't been repaired yet. If we don't fix it soon, this place will become the breeding ground for this monster. The elder Yumu spoke softly, his voice laced with a chilling sense of intent. Not good. This guy is trying to attack the core of the formation directly. If the core is completely destroyed, this creature will be reborn. We can't let it destroy the core. Let's act together. In the next moment, the silver dragon twisted its massive body, its tail swinging toward the core of the array. The immense force it carried was unmistakable. If it struck the core, it would likely be obliterated in an instant. Strike. I'll handle the pressure of the space force on you. Xiao snorted coldly. A surge of even stronger soul power erupted from him, enveloping everyone. As the group moved, a terrifying scene unfolded in the void of the silver spatial array. This damn beast. Although Xiao soul attack disrupted its intelligence, its own strength can't be underestimated. Even without intelligence, its terrifying power is enough to challenge us. Elder Yumu continuously launched powerful attacks, but they were easily neutralized upon hitting the dragon's silver scales. This creature's defense is too strong. Moreover, its attacks are spatial in nature. Only soul power can resist spatial forces. Using any other kind of force against it would be like trying to break a stone with an egg. But if we keep wasting our strength like this, even my soul power at the immortal realm level won't last long. Xiao stood at the back of the group, continuously releasing waves of powerful energy. Every time the silver dragon launched an attack, it was countered by Xiao soul power. Elder, what do we do now? This beast is too strong, other strong figures asked, clearly uncertain. If this continued, they would eventually run out of Do Qi and lose for sure. After all, the silver dragon was formed from spatial power, and this was its domain. No matter how much spatial power it consumed, it could always absorb more from the spatial array. This creature must have been formed from the unstable spatial energy within the formation, Elder Yumu pondered. It seems this is indeed a troublesome situation. Set up the formation, he said slowly after a moment of thought. All right. The other 7 strong figures nodded in agreement, then quickly gathered around the elder, preparing for something. These guys. Xiao naturally wouldn't take the initiative. He simply used his soul power to protect them, as it was the agreement he had made with Yu Tianyue long ago. Thunderstorm Cage. At that moment, Elder Yumu's voice rang out like a verdict, echoing in the void. This is? Xiao couldn't help but be shocked. This is an incredibly advanced binding technique, and the force contains thunder that paralyzes the enemy. Hearing the voice, Xiao was taken aback. Under the guidance of the Devourer of Souls, he had learned a little about such techniques. Thunderstorm Cage. This formation possessed an incredibly strong binding power, but it had a fatal flaw. It consumed too much Do Qi. Although the formation was powerful, it was incredibly difficult to execute, and couldn't be done by just one person. Boom. Led by Elder Yumu, the 8 figures slowly arranged themselves in a row. A wave of silver thunder poured from their bodies and converged on Elder Yumu. Thunderstorm Cage. Imprison them. Elder Yumu grasped the terrifying silver thunder power and shouted. All the gathered power was unleashed, crashing toward the silver dragon in the void. Clearly, this formation had been prepared in advance, specifically to deal with this creature. As soon as the power was released, the silver dragon grew restless. Whum! The light sphere where the silver dragon had been was slowly undergoing a transformation. If left unchecked, it would soon form intelligence. Goo goo goo. The silver dragon, driven purely by instinct, sensed an overwhelming aura emanating from the silver lightning net. It couldn't help but let out deafening roars, almost as if it was protesting the provocation by the elders, expressing its defiant fury. Shuas. Although the silver dragon had not yet developed intelligence, its body was formed entirely from spatial energy. When it noticed the first elder's silver lightning weaving into an impenetrable web across the skies, it bellowed furiously. In full view of the assembled group, its massive body began to coil tightly. Even more astonishingly, after curling its enormous form, the space around the silver dragon began to ripple subtly. In the blink of an eye, the dragon completely vanished from sight. Not good. This thing is using spatial power to escape our attacks. One of the 8 individuals responsible for maintaining the thunderstorm cage exclaimed sharply, his keen eyes catching the telltale signs of spatial fluctuation. Damn it, too late. Xiao cursed inwardly. He had already realized that the silver dragon was no ordinary opponent, but he had never imagined it could harness spatial power to teleport. Despite his dazzling soul force attempting to disrupt the dragon's spatial transit, he ultimately fell a step behind. Stay calm. Keep the doqi flowing steadily. We have Xiao on our side. It will be fine. The first elder's voice cut through the unease of those maintaining the formation, quelling the seeds of panic before they could take root. Yes. The remaining 7 quickly steadied themselves, closing their eyes once more to focus. Their powerful doqi surged forth, channeling directly into the first elder's body. It was peculiar. These individuals possessed a wide range of attributes: water, fire, wind, earth, and more. Yet the moment their doqi entered the first elder's body, it was inexplicably converted into silver lightning. The reason behind this transformation was a secret known only to the first elder. First elder, while this creature hasn't yet developed intelligence, the next time it appears, I'll unleash a soul attack immediately. You'll follow up with your attack, and we'll eliminate it for good. Xiao said grimly. There was no other choice. The aura emanating from the silver dragon was simply too overwhelming. Moreover, as time dragged on, Xiao and the others found their soul power and doqi steadily draining, while the dragon's presence grew increasingly oppressive. If this continued, their defeat was inevitable. And once they failed, the spatial array would remain unrepaired, dooming Xiao Eastern Continent competition to irrelevance. Understood. All our hopes rest on you, Xiao, the first elder said, his tone heavy with resignation. He had no other option but to maintain the lightning cage while also overseeing the sect's elite who were transferring doqi to him. Goo goo goo. Suddenly, in a location opposite to where the silver dragon had vanished, space began to ripple once more. A massive head slowly emerged from the undulating void. The dragon's fierce eyes locked onto everyone present. Even Rain Sect's first elder, Yumu, a mid-3-star Docian, felt a wave of dread coursing through his body as those piercing eyes bore into him. Xiao, however, remained unfazed, his formidable soul force acting as a bulwark against the dragon's oppressive presence. Break for me. Spectral heaven echo. Xiao roared, his dazzling soul force coalescing into a resonant, otherworldly cry that reverberated across the battlefield. Boom, boom, boom. Jolted by Xiao soul attack, the first elder snapped out of his stupor. He immediately commanded the vast lightning net to surge towards the silver dragon with devastating speed. The combination of Xiao soul attack and the restraining power of the lightning net proved formidable. No matter how fearsome the silver dragon was, it seemed unlikely to escape annihilation. Immortal-level soul power? Deep within the spatial array, in a hidden pocket of space, a man cloaked in black murmured, his voice filled with fervent heat. Beneath his hood, his pupils burned with unrestrained excitement. Master, what are you? One of the 5 individuals concealed within the small chamber began, his tone tinged with confusion. These 5 were members of the Withered Leaf Cottage, their strength formidable. Even the weakest among them was an early 2-star Douxian, while the strongest was none other than late 3-star Douxian, Yiku. This hidden space had been created using the very spatial transfer array they had just mastered. Though compact, it could house up to 10 people, and the Rain sect was completely unaware of its existence. That boy's soul aura is terrifying. It has reached the immortal realm, the man in black stated, his voice brimming with an intense, almost fanatical edge. His goal was clear. He sought soul bodies. In essence, soul bodies were the pure essence of souls, detached from physical form. The strength of the soul force determined the power of the soul body. Immortal-level soul power? Yiku frowned deeply. If it were only based on soul power, then an expert with immortal realm soul strength would not be any weaker than a 3-star Douxian. In fact, under certain fortuitous circumstances, even a 3-star Douxian could be seriously injured by an immortal realm soul expert, and that's the truly terrifying part. This kid is mine. I don't care about the rest, the man in black said before falling silent again, waiting for the right moment to act. Damn it, this bastard. If you weren't someone from that force, I would have slapped you to death by now. This Xiao harmed my son, and I want him to suffer a fate worse than death. However, despite Yiku's extreme displeasure, he did not let it show. After all, the power behind this black-robed man could erase them from the ghost realm with a single word. Unless Yiku no longer wished to live, he wouldn't dare provoke them, even if given 100 lives. The Withered Leaf Cottage party of 5 stood quietly in the dark passage, ready to act the moment the spatial transmission array was repaired. Boom! The battle within the spatial array continued. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Xiao Yan's soul attack severely injured the Silver Dragon, and with the addition of the Great Elder's thunderstorm cage, the Silver Dragon was immediately trapped. Although the Silver Dragon was powerful, it lacked intelligence, much like a newborn child wielding immense strength without control. Thus, despite its overwhelming power, it was vulnerable and easily subdued by Xiao Yan and the others working together. At that moment, the Silver Dragon's body was shrouded in turbulent silver spatial energy, emitting an aura of extreme danger. Yet, layer upon layer of impenetrable thunder nets kept it securely confined, ensuring it could not escape anytime soon. I didn't expect that Xiao Yan, at such a young age, would already have an immortal realm soul. It's truly humbling, said Great Elder Yumu with a hint of embarrassment as he watched the subdued Silver Dragon. Initially, he had thought that deploying a 3rd-rank immortal grade soul core for a young lad was a waste. But now, having witnessed Xiao Yan's combat prowess, Yumu realized that it was more than worth it. What seemed simple just now wouldn't have been possible without Xiao Yan's soul power severely injuring the Silver Dragon. Even doubling their numbers might not have been enough to restrain the creature. The spatial energy on this Silver Dragon is indeed chaotic. Xiao Yan sensed the disorderly spatial energy surrounding the creature, making his scalp tingle. Don't worry, Xiao Yan, said the Great Elder. This Silver Dragon is a manifestation of mutated spatial energy. Once the sect master restores the core of the array, it will dissipate. All right, Xiao Yan nodded lightly, but he didn't seem to relax. Instead, he moved closer to the restrained Silver Dragon, as if contemplating something. Stay alert, everyone. Although this Silver Dragon is merely a concentration of spatial energy, there's always a risk of residual spatial energy attacking the core of the array. We cannot let our guard down, the Great Elder commanded sternly. Understood. The others immediately widened their eyes and focused intently on any disturbances within the array space. Xiao Yan was responsible for soul defense, and thus did not remain as vigilant as the others. He approached the Silver Dragon, seemingly with a plan in mind. Even though this spatial energy is chaotic, it is something only a 5-star Douxian can generate. What would happen if I absorbed it? Xiao Yan mused with a slow smile. A wisp of crimson flame emerged from his fingertip and, in the next moment, shot directly toward the Silver Dragon. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The crimson flame easily penetrated the binding power of the thunder net and landed on the Silver Dragon's skin. With a fierce scrape, a palm-sized piece of silver energy was pulled from the dragon's body by the flame. Hopefully, This will work. As the flame returned to Xiao Yin with the piece of chaotic spatial energy, he could clearly feel the immense power it contained. Xiao Yin knew he possessed 2 battle cores, the flame mantra and the sacred flame. If this worked, humph. If you want to die, go ahead and swallow it, said the devourer of souls, dousing Xiao Yan's excitement with a cold dose of reality. Master? Xiao Yan quickly composed himself and replied quietly. Spatial energy is extremely rare and can only be formed in small amounts by someone at the 5-star Dosian level. It is only then that battle array masters can fully manipulate it. And this energy's unique nature means it cannot be consumed. Even with all the treasures you possess, if you attempt to swallow it, you'll end up exploding from within. Bang, bang, bang. As soon as the devourer of souls finished speaking, the silver spatial power in Xiao Yan's hand erupted with a violent aura and then suddenly exploded right in front of him. Fortunately, Xiao Yan was quick on his feet and managed to fling the spatial power away. Otherwise, such a close-range explosion would have likely left him severely injured, if not dead. Now you understand, right? Spatial power isn't something to rush. You might be able to try it when your strength reaches 4-star Do D. Plus, with your identity as a battle array master, your combat power will probably increase once again, the devourer of souls said with a smile. Then I'll just wait for now. Xiao Yan nodded lightly, with no further thoughts. Be careful. There seem to be some other auras within this formation space. The aura is somewhat similar to the people from the Ghost King realm, or in your words, it's a bit like the Soul Clan. The Devourer of Souls.